Hey, it's Linda Light, and where have I been? So, I've been in Ohio last weekend. It was a great trip to meet Bev and Diane and Diane's mother, Charlotte. And happy 60th birthday again. Shout out to Di, Lady Di. So, the Blueberry Farm is really cool. I'm so grateful. Thank you for having me out there. And what a wonderful weekend of disclosures. So y'all getting the disclosures? Y'all getting contact? Because if not, then maybe you're just not looking in the right places. That's all. Just look up. Look up and treat everything that you see in this matrix reality as if it's a construct of which you may be pleasantly surprised, or maybe not so pleasantly surprised to find out it's not what you've been told. So if you're going to look at something like stars, we tend to think science has that one down, right? There's no way they'd lie to us about what's up there, would they? No. Until they show you themselves. And so every star that's out there is not a star as we've been told it is. And those of you who have seen them know when something's stationary and then it starts to move slowly, glide, float, whatever, and it's not an airplane. When you've seen enough of them and then you start having communications with them, you realize that not all the stars are stars. Okay, that might be acceptable to a lot of people who are really catching up with the fact that, you know, we're not alone, blah, blah, blah. And we are part of a galactic community and Earth isn't what they told us. So anyhow, deep rabbit holes. But one thing that I was pretty sure about, because I've been on this path for a while now, and over the last couple of years, I've always known where the constellations are in the sky, certain ones in particular, like Orion's Belt or the Big Dipper, right? So when you see a star that's stationary in a constellation and you see it float out of position a couple inches across the sky, just holding your hands up like this, you know, float out of position and then stop immediately on a dime and go right back in the same line to the position that it was in, and then hover around. Bev and I were joking about it when we saw this. Yes, I have a witness. There was meteors the first night. The second night, Diane was getting communications. We had lights going out. We had fires starting by themselves in the fire pit. All kinds of magical experiences that can't really be explained by what we're told this world is. But the best one, I think, by far, was seeing General Number 2 in the Big Dipper handle, second star. We're calling it General Number 2 because General Number 2 just decided to go off for a little fly. He just decided to like run out to the store, you know, the star store. He got out of his position. Sorry, I'm not narking on you, General Number 2, because I'm sure you had permission to fly, but he just took a little sightseeing tour and then turned around and came back like, oh no, Mom and Dad have the keys. And they knew we're gone. And they brought the ship back. And the thing is, Bev and I were like, we were checking with each other. It was so funny. We were both like, you saw that, right? Constellations don't move, right? Like we kept checking with each other because it was hysterical. And as we're still watching it, we wouldn't take our eyes off this, and we're having this funny conversation about, you're seeing this, right? And I think just to make sure the other one wasn't going crazy, like I'm not going crazy, you do see that. And it looked like it was just slightly out of position from the handle, and I said, doesn't it look like it's a little out of position? And Bev's like, yeah, it does. And it just kind of hovered around just a little bit just to play with it, and then locked itself in position. Like, how cool is that? So I think light contact like that is a good thing to let people know that they're there. And the interesting thing is, it really opens up a lot of ponderings and musings and introspection, and divvies up a lot of questions within yourself. But I've been noticing, and I've said this for at least a year now on my channel, when you get to see the night sky, when you actually are in a good, no light pollution area and you can see a lot of stars, you start to notice every star has a twin. Every star has a pair somewhere it belongs to. Like, everyone you look at, you can tell where its twin is. And once you see that, you can never, ever unsee it. Every time you look at the sky, you'll see them in twins, in pairs, and it's really cool. So there's that, and it's almost like you instinctively know which one the second one is. You can just tell. Just tell. So when you're looking up at constellations, you never expect to see one of them move, do you? And when they show you their ships, they move. It's almost like, okay, we're here. Do you accept it? You know, is your reality shifted enough to be in the galactic community? Like, what if we were to tell you that these are all ships, that they're there, but during the day they say, well, you can't see them because, you know, you need darkness in order to see the lights. Well, what if their decloaking was on and we could actually see the ships? What if some of those things you were told were constellations were actually, you know, the negative space wasn't space and time? What if that was actually the ship? And so we've seen things on video, disclosure, right? We see things where like the front have the light and the lights here and lights here, you know, and you see the whole thing moving in the night sky. I've seen those videos. Have you seen them? Put it in the comments. It's absolutely amazing the amount of contact that's going on. And it's not just, say, a shooting star. Yeah, a comet could be going by and leaving a trail, that's fine. But a lot of these things that you see up there, they're in position. They're in a galactic community in a position. There's parking positions. And I'm sure not every ship that's in the Big Dipper is going to be the same ship every night. I'm not sure about that, but you know, it would be interesting to find out how it all works, because we know the Big Dipper itself is not one big part of a bigger vehicle or a mothership or anything, because General Number 2 decided to take a ride and show us he's smaller. I mean, unless it was bigger and it was blacked out, but how would I know? See, these are the kind of things that humans want to know the answers to. And we're getting all our questions answered as we start accepting that we've been lied to. It's not what we were told. Those stars up there in that sky, those stars are not what you've been told. So just keep digging where your instinct tells you to dig, because your soul is trying to make contact with you. And when your soul makes contact with you and truths start to reveal themselves, you start to learn the truth about your heritage, your divine birthright, your divine province, which is what you're here in this body bringing forth in this reality. So a lot of people are going through ascension symptoms with the plasma light coming in, the gamma waves, all of it. It's very intense. The Schumann resonance is picking up a lot of things, and it's a steady pulse that's coming in from the grand central sun. Remember, the sun is portal sending plasmic light out to everyone. So how much these ships up there are helping to deflect so that it's not too much, or regulate so that we're getting a regular dose of what we need in order to transform and upgrade these bodies. So if that's the case, which certainly I'm not being told it's not, some variation of that, I'm sure I've got some of it wrong in my filters, you know. Every day we strive to be just a little bit better than we were the day before. That just seems to be a natural given, right? This is what we do. And it's funny when you catch yourself doing something that maybe you used to do, that you worked on a long time, like here, I'll go as an example. Talking over somebody, or seeming like I'm disregarding what they're saying, and I might just be bouncing off of what they're saying, but when you step on somebody and they're talking and then you see yourself do it and you go, oh man, I used to be like that. I'm not like that anymore. I know I'm a really good listener, and I know that I can ask good questions when I'm, you know, all here and on my game. But then when I started to see an old program play through on a video, and I started to see myself, like trying to multitask and not do a very good job. It's like, oh God. Cancel, clear, old self, gone, transmute. So I very, very much enjoy learning from other people when we have conversations. And that's a lot of times, this time of year is when you feel like this is when you want to go out and about. This is when you want to be out socializing with friends and out in nature and just out away from the tech. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling this big disconnect from tech. It's like I don't want to be, it's almost like I'm repulsed to be on it. And I hate to say that because, you know, I know you guys probably want to pick up as much as you can. And if I'm throwing down something, I'm glad you're here and watching this video. So thank you for being here. If you're a supporter, thank you very much for your support. I really do appreciate it. If you are owed a reading from Patreon, you will absolutely be receiving it this week. So thank you for your patience on that one. And I was traveling, so I did put a message back there. I hope you all got that back there. So I did have one thing come over me that I wanted to share. And I want to do, I have another podcast coming up, and I have a couple interviews that I want to do. There's a few people that need a platform. There's two in particular I'm thinking of that want to share their story. And so I want to provide that space. But, you know, as much as I wanted to have like a regular show or do something like that with the channel, it's not in the cards right now. So what I started getting involved with is doing soul art, soul dot art. Excuse me. And I used to do this before. I used to just draw like Monet. I always thought Monet was fascinating when I was in high school, like making all those colors and different things with just dots. I had to do little brush dabs, but I literally got a drawing app. Oh, it's on my iPad, it's not on my phone. Okay, let me see if the video's in here. Oh yeah, so I have like a 16-minute video of this. 16 minutes of this video, and this is me doing dot by dot. And that's me taking the video. I do focus in a little bit, but hang on, wait for it. I know it's hard to see there. But see how those dots are going like one dot at a time? Wait, it does focus better. See, dot, dot, dot. It's speeding it up. It's an animation of an artistic draw that I did. And that's just the very beginning of it. It takes 16 minutes to animate the whole version of this. And I can't get the animation over to make it into a video, but I thought that would be a great thing to put on my YouTube channel. You know, because sometimes like it's just enjoyable to watch mindless creations of beauty. And if you saw this artwork, wow, you would love it. Let's see, where's the artwork? Oh, back here. All right, this is an art piece made in dots. Let me zoom in. Oh. Ah, sorry guys. Here, I'll zoom in. That's all done. It looks like it's bling, doesn't it? But it's all done with dots. Every single thing you see on here is dots. And here's the other piece of it. Looks like a shield. Ooh, look at that. It was encoded. I was using soul frequencies. I got the violet flame in there. And, you know, sacred geometry and all this. So I do things like this in patterns. This is the big pattern of it. So as you zoom in more and more. So I wanted to do a channel where you could see all of the art as it's being made, all of the little dots. And I got to figure out how to do that. But that would be a neat thing to do on the channel. You may or may not enjoy watching that. But I watch people paint sometimes, and I like watching. There's this girl, I don't know where she's at, and she's like a jungle girl, and she creates things with bamboo, like houses and underground caves, not caves, underground like bunkers. She did a sitting area for her little village. She built a bridge out of bamboo. Like, she's so talented, and it's on like a fast speed, so it's like, I guess, a time-lapse video, but the channel's really cool. And I feel like there's a different direction that this channel could be going on. Now, maybe I could have a video playing in the background, and instead of you guys looking at this face, I can be like, and this was the piece for today. And then I'll just talk about my soul experience while I was creating the art. I'll talk about the downloads. And because every time I'm doing something like that, when I watch it back, the animation tells me a story. And I can see things being created in the animation that I couldn't see that I was actually doing when I was creating it the first time. So watching the animation itself is pretty darn cool. So anyway, that's just one of the projects that I'm working on, and figuring out a way to bring that to you so I can share that with everybody. So I hope you enjoyed this little update. I think that's all. Hang on a second. Let's see, got anything else? Quantum signature healing level 1 prices are now officially going up. So if you had a chance to take advantage of that before, that's wonderful. We'll let you know when level 2 is going to be coming out. Don't look for it before the fall. And that's even at the earliest. So don't look before, probably more like 2023 is what I'm feeling. But I know some of you are looking for level 2, but just hang in there. All right. And as far as level 1 goes, it's learning all about how you're becoming the master of your own fields and how to do that to work on the grid work, quantumly use yourself, yourselves, your full united body, mind, spirit, the multi-dimensional part of you, how to use that while you're on the grids, and to really make lasting changes in effect. And to know that you're doing this takes practice, like anything does. So I'm not going to tell you it's going to take 10,000 hours of practice to master it, but a lot of people are already well on their way. And sometimes you just need a few little things to go, aha, aha. Maybe there's one little basic foundational piece you don't have, so everything keeps falling down over here. But once you get that foundational piece in, aha, aha, you keep having aha moments. And then you share what you have aha'd with your sphere of influence, and your people, and your friends. And they tell their friends, and so on, and so on, and so on. Remember the Prel commercial? I'm dating myself. Back in the 70s, they'd have a whole bunch of little, whatever. If you know it, you know it. If you don't worry about it. So I think that's about all I have for you today. And just make your day bright and light, and be just a little bit better today than you were yesterday. And I will see you next time. Peace. Hi, this is Linda. Thanks for tuning in. If you resonate with this video, or if you receive some benefit from it, would you please consider sharing it? Thanks for your support.